I already been in big time scenes.
And these are like young startup.
Yeah, I already been in big time scenes, G.
They don't have like a, I don't even know what you'd call it, but they don't have
I've
classes
already
for
been
you?
intimidated by Melissa Leo. I've been intimidated by fucking Adam Sandler. I've been intimidated by Robert De Niro. I've been intimidated by a ton of fucking people, you know, from Dean Cain to fucking Denzel. I've been intimidated by a lot of people.
You're not going to intimidate me.
Bro, I was in a room with James Coburn.
Fuck.
You know how intimidated when I was? But after the first line, I started making eye contact, and that's what acting's all about. Because you have to let him know you're in the fucking room too, cocksucker. But it has to transcend through your eyes. Your eyes are everything. That's why before you go into an audition, they always tell you to think of the moment before, what the character you think, what the character was doing the moment before. Your imagination tells you what. Before he comes in here to shoot you in the fucking head, was he outside doing jumping jacks? Was he in his car saying goodbye to his daughter? Was he, you know what I'm saying? So as you're walking up the stairs, what's your thought? You have to go there when you go into an audition with a scene. And I'm just using that as it could be you walking into a room to fire somebody. It could be 1,000 different things.
Do you think you're better at, even like just, we're going to break down acting, do you think you're better at improvising than like a trained actor is just because of your stand-up? Like, I think
okay,
being
let's
on
be
your feet,
honest here. I always say that I've been doing comedy since 1991. I didn't really focus on the writing and the whole art aspect of it till 93. So in reality, on paper, my first 2 years of comedy were garbage. But there was something else I learned those 2 years, why they're not garbage, why I have to count them. Because I was a house MC at the Broker in Boulder. And I MC'd there every week for $50 a week. And I bombed pretty much every fucking week.
Jesus.
So I gave up on material and I became an improviser. And at that time, I started doing comedy at a black club called Club Mix off East Colfax. Black night on Sunday nights. You had to improvise, Lee. So I improvised till 1997. It got less and less because down in LA you can't improvise. When there's agents in the room and you start talking to the audience and trying to be cute, there's no more nothing.
But I mean, now I don't know if you improvise, but you'll have set lists.
Oh no! I improvise on stage every fucking show. There's a line that'll come out whether you like it or not. That there's improvised material, because when I started as a comic, the first 6 months I believed that I could be a writer, but I bailed on it. And so what I would do is get one hook to go into a show, and then I rested on my laurels of improvising. So my show became 50-50. So let's say you called me up and said, Joey, I got a show for you. You got to do 30. Even though I know I have 30, I got 18. But I'm going to improvise for 12 and pray to God that it all works out.
Ooh, and how often will it work out, though?
Not too many.
Ooh.
Not too many.
That's a long time to improvise.
That's 12 minutes of improvising. So, but guess what, Lee? 1 out of every 5 shows, I hit a home run out of the park with the improvising.
And that would convince you to stick with it?
And that would convince me to stick with it. I went to Seattle in 95, and because I went to New York for 9 months. And then in New York, people come out and go, how you doing? My name is Lee. I had a fucked up day today. What do you do, sir? You're a bus driver. You like being a bus driver? So that's New York humor. So when I went to New York, I fell into more of that fucking stupidity humor where you talk to the audience. When I got to Seattle in 95, I still had that stupidity humor that I'd talk to in the audience. When things got dangerous, I got into a mode where I would go into improvising into the audience. And sometimes, sometimes, Lee, it was fucking phenomenal, but sometimes it was just god-awful.
Would you do that at open mics, too?
I do it everywhere. Fuck. I thought in the back of my mind I was fucking Johnny Improvise for a long time, and it got me nowhere, but it did get me material.
I was going to say...
And it did teach me how to take chances.
So if you improvised and found something you liked, you'd write it down at the end of the night?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
But what I mean improvising also is talking to the audience.
Crowd work.
Crowd work. Crowd work is a bad habit. If you're doing it right now, God bless you. I'm not putting you down at all. But I never liked crowd work. And I did it. And I did it well. But again, it was 50-50. So here I was going on stage with the set people. So let's pretend I had 15 minutes. I would have 3 minutes of material. Then I would improvise for 3. And if that didn't work, I bailed out on the fucking talking to the audience. And eat shit constantly.
It seems like a coin toss, like, because you don't know if they're going to say something good.
This is what I'm saying to you.
I haven't even tried to get
This is what I'm saying to you. And you do that so much that your life sucks. I mean, after a year, your life really sucks.
Why does it suck?
Because you're not getting nowhere. And you know you're not getting nowhere because you're scared to actually sit down and use your fucking pen. This is how it was for me. I refused to sit down and use my pen. Then in 96 in Seattle, something came over me. And I started making notes while I was driving. And that was pretty effective. Notes while I was driving. Just little notes. So again, I would come up with a joke about Lee. I'd come up with a joke about King Kong. I'd come up with a joke about a song. I mean, there was no particular order. And I would go up on stage with those 2 lines, which were funny, 50% of the time, 60% of the time. But the rest of it, I'll give you an example. When you drive from Seattle or Yakima, Washington is considered the Palm Springs of Washington.
Okay.
I had a gig there one night. And I walk into the fucking hotel room. I lock the door. I put my luggage down. I'm happy as shit. It's a nice hotel. But when I look in the bed, it's one of those beds that if you put a quarter in it, it shakes.
Oof. I never even saw one of those.
Yeah, this is how young you are. Like, guys, in the 70s and 60s, when you checked into a hotel room, you could put quarters in the fucking head frame, and the bed would rattle. And it was like a mini massage.
That's what it was?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was a sex thing. Oh, my God.
And maybe even a sex thing. I don't know. I was too fucking young.
I saw it in Dumb and Dumber. That's the only place.
But I went to this hotel in Yakima, Washington. I fucking put I looked at this bed, and I was like, holy shit. I go, let me try it. And I put the fucking quarter in. I put the first quarter in. It didn't work. And then I banged it a couple times. And me being me, I put the second quarter in, I banged it, and finally it started fucking shaking. And it just made fucking noise like I don't know what I weighed. I probably weighed 250 at the time, 240. It was like you with the zip line. It was just too much.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.